Well, welcome to our Park City Market Talk webinar. I'm Ron Wilstein, a broker at Keller Williams Luxury Properties here in Park City, Utah.
And I'm Jeremy Wilstein, the buyer consultant for the Wilstein team. And we're here to present the August 2014 Park City Market Talk webinar.
And we're actually, figuratively speaking, sitting in our backyard because this picture was taken last week after our party and a nice storm and a double rainbow, and we thought we'd use it as our backdrop for today's webinar.
Nice.
All right. We hope that you're up and enjoying the resorts. We're in August now. It won't be long before the snow starts falling, so get out there and enjoy the summer in Park City. Topics. What are we going to cover, Jeremy?
We're going to talk about the Park City real estate market and give everybody an update on what's been going on.
And then, because it's August, it's time to talk about property taxes. Those of you who own a Park City or Deer Valley property probably got your tax notice, and we want to make sure you're not paying too much, so we're going to talk about that today.
And then we're going to talk about a possible market shift in Park City real estate. We've seen some early indicators, so we want to share with you where we think the market's going to be going.
All right, so those are our topics. Let's hop right into it. Over the past 12 months, we've had 1,338 sales in Park City. These are homes, condominiums, and vacant land. These are all real estate companies combined, and that is up 2% or 20 sales from the 12-month period the year before.
Taking a look at the year-to-year comparison of closed sales, these are comparing homes, condos, and lots. We see homes are actually down 7% from 558 sales to 517 so far. From between August 2013 and July 2014. We're up in condo sales up 6%, and in lot sales we're up 13% in terms of number of closed transactions.
All right, now let's break it down a little more specific in terms of homes. We're breaking this down between inside the Park City limits, often referred to as Park City proper, and Park City in the county or Snyderville Basin. The number of home sales is actually down by 16% in the city limits from 193 sales to 162. The home sales in the county are slightly down by 3%, about 10 sales from 365 down to 355.
And then taking a look at our comparison of closed condo sales, inside the city limits we're up 1%, from 347 sales to 352. And in Snyderville Basin we're up a whopping 14%, up from 221 to 252.
Now, as we turn to vacant land, the number of sales in the city is down from 51 to 38. That's a 25% drop. We do want you to keep in mind that there's very little land available within the city limits, and so that's having an impact on the actual number of sales, just not enough to choose from. However, the contrast is when you go out to the Snyderville Basin, it's up 27%. From 141 sales to 179, and part of what's fueling that is with our limited inventory of single-family homes, people are not always finding exactly the right home, and so they're turning to land, maybe buying it in order to build exactly what they want.
The average time of market for closed home sales has gotten slightly longer, 8 days longer in 2014 compared to 2013.
Now let's take a look at prices, see what's happening with regard to them. In the home market, we're looking at home median sold prices from August 2013 to July 2014. In the city, take a look at that, 21% appreciation from $1,115,000 for the median price up to $1,350,000. So that's pretty impressive. Then the Snyderville Basin, nice 6% gain from $677,500 all the way up to $720,000 for the median sold price.
Then taking a look at our condo median sold price, inside the city limits we're down 5% from $515,000 to $490,000, which the Park City condos have been lagging a bit recently. And in the Snyderville Basin, we're up a nice 8%, up from $310,000 to $335,000.
And now we turn to lots, and again, they right now are our strongest market segment in the city limits. while the number of sales of lots were down, the appreciation, the values are up from $580,000 as a median price to $630,000, a nice $50,000 gain, or 9%. Go out to the Snyderville Basin, the actual base price is lower at $250,000, but the gain is 29%, all the way up to $323,500. So that's $73,500 gain year over year on the median sold prices. Well, pretty impressive.
Yeah. So we're going to talk quickly about property tax appeals. So if you're a property owner here in Summit County or Wasatch County, you may have gotten your property tax appeal, or you hopefully did get that in the mail, which shows what the valuation of your property and what you are proposed to be taxed on for 2014.
That's right. We want to give you a couple key dates. The first one is a tax appeal deadline, which is Monday, September 15th of this year. So you have between now, whenever you're watching this webinar, till that date in order to, one, determine if you think you qualify for an appeal, and then to submit the argument no later than that deadline. Otherwise, you got to wait a whole year, and you won't get a tax break if you're entitled to one. In order to appeal your taxes, you need to prove that the value that the tax assessor has assigned to your property is higher than its value as of January 1st, 2014. So if you're watching this webinar in August or in September, it isn't the value as of the time you're watching it. It's the value on the first day of this year for this entire calendar year. That's what you want to be aware of when you're looking at your figures. Let me just mention here that in order to be successful at appealing your property's valuation and to save you tax, you have to show that that assigned value of your property is higher than what it should be. To do this, you've got to make a convincing argument with supportive facts to the tax assessor to lower that assigned value. We're going to show you a couple ways to do it, and then we'll eventually point you to an entire separate webinar where we go through that form, walk you through it, and help you make a decision regarding your tax situation.
So there's three ways to argue your property's valuation. One, and probably the easiest way, is if you purchased your property in 2013 or early 2014 and you have the settlement statement showing your purchase price, you can usually get the assigned value of your property lowered to the actual purchase price. So if your property was valued at $800,000 but you bought it end of 2013 or early 2014, then for say $700,000, you can usually get the valuated down pretty easily.
So in order for this one to work, you have to recently have purchased your property. The next way is you can hire a licensed appraiser and have him or her appraise your property. You can then present that written appraisal to the tax assessor, and they will adjust the value to the lower value. If you're going to take advantage of this method, be sure when you talk to the appraiser that you're asking them to give you a value as of January 1st, not current time period, because that's what they'll do naturally if you don't tell them otherwise.
And finally, you can provide details on sales of similar properties to yours that sold prior to that January 2014 deadline, along with an argument explaining why the tax assessor's assigned value was too high and should be lowered.
So if you're interested in exploring this to see if you qualify, we do have a webinar entitled How to Appeal Your Property Taxes. You can go to our website at thewilsteinteam.com/tax appeal. Watch that webinar. It will walk you through your form, tell you what your options are, and actually present one that we offer to our clients and anyone who's interested, and maybe that would be right for you. Now, this is a snapshot of the website, the homepage on it. I'm not going to take you through it, but it's at BuyParkCity.com. It'll answer your questions. It will provide you with the forms that you would need if you want to take care of it yourself, and it will give you an option which is 100% risk-free if you're interested in that. So check that out, BuyParkCityTaxAppeal.com.
All right, well, let's get into this possible market shift we're seeing in the real estate market, and these early indicators that something's shifting with the market and maybe something's happening that is worth taking a look at.
That's right. Those of you who are faithful followers of our monthly Park City Market Talk webinar know that we present this data every single month. if you're watching it over and over again, it might be a bit routine, but by us looking at this every month and reporting to you as shifts occur, you're the first one to hear about it. In this webinar, we're presenting some information that Rick Klein, a friend of ours who works with Wells Fargo Mortgage, actually prepared. And most of the data we present is sold data, closed sales. And this analysis that we're going to give you a snapshot on tonight is a pending sales analysis by Rick. And so I want to give him rightful credit for it. He just spends a lot of time working on it. But let's take a look at this first graph. And what you're looking at here is these are pending sales in the Park City overall area. That includes the Snyderville Basin, even goes out as far as Deer Mountain area. This is for the first quarter of the year, and these are each bar graph is representing a year starting at 2006, which is right here above me, and working its way to our current year. So this is the first quarter. The blue portion of the bar is condominium sales, the number of sales. The maroon or the red is single-family homes, and then the yellow at the top are vacant land. And what we want to bring to your attention is from 2010 onward, we see an increase in the number of transactions. It's very, very strong. It's standard. It's good. It's a good sign of a marketplace. You can see in 2012 there was a little bit of a reduction and adjustment, but that's pretty normal. When you have a rising market, just like the stock market, it goes through an adjustment or correction period. 2013 is very strong, and then that first quarter a little bit weaker. 2014, worth noting, but not worth making a big deal about. The main thing I want you to see is that that middle reddish maroon color is the one that shrunk, and that's among single-family homes. When we look at this, this is the second quarter. And we're again following that chart, but now we're picking up the second quarter of 2014, and you can see that it actually has dropped off. Now, what's important for you to realize is this is a whole quarter, and while you see a drop, there was actually a surge in June, which is what we expect. We see more people buying single-family homes over the summer months in between the school year. It's not reflected here, but it's worth noting that there is a bit of a drop. Jeremy, why don't you mention a couple things comparing that 2014 year with previous years?
Yeah, so if we take a look at 2014, it might look like we're having a drop off, but I want to point everybody's attention to quarter two of 2013, and then trace that back to quarter two of 2006, which was the height of our marketplace. And in terms of pending sales, we were at pretty much the height of pending sales when we look back historically. Q2 of 2014, we're still above even Q2 of 2007. So, I read this as a market stabilization. We've had nice appreciation, increase in number of sales, increase in pending sales for the last, but really since 2009, where it was the bottom of our market. So, it'd be interesting to see how quarter three goes. I think this is just a stabilization. The market's kind of easing back and finding its feet, and going in for the long haul. So.
And we reported earlier with single-family home prices, the appreciation is going up and up and up. If you're a homeowner, it doesn't get any better than that. Your value is going up. If you're a buyer, sometimes you feel like you're chasing it a bit, but it can't go up that steady double-digit appreciation every single month after month after month after month. So this is pretty normal. But it's worth noting because it's a change in the pattern, and pending sales is an early indicator of what may be happening among closed sales. This graph here is a combination of the first two quarters, so the first 6 months of each year in comparison. Again, it's reinforcing what we observed on the previous graph. Worth noting, and we're going to keep an eye on this, but we want to give it a shot to tell you possible interpretations to this potential shift in the marketplace.
So what does this all mean? As we talked about earlier, maybe an early indicator that the market is stabilizing in regards to number of sales of single-family homes. You saw the lot activity increased while the single-family home pending sales decreased. There's not a lot of inventory of single-family homes. People are turning towards lots, buying lots. You see that lots are up, Snyderville Basin, almost 30%. terms of sales. So we're seeing the squeeze and pinch on single-family homes because there's not a ton on the market.
Yep. Now, how you interpret this for buyers and sellers will vary. It depends on whether this stabilization that we're seeing is caused by the lack of the inventory of homes for sale that Jeremy mentioned, or if it's some buyer resistance to sellers attempting to sell at new high prices. And when we have such a consistent pattern of increasing values over time, it's natural for a property owner to go, I want to be a part of that, do it again and again. But sometimes buyers give some resistance to it because it's only so far they're going to take it. If the cause is the very small inventory of homes for sale, then the limited supply and the high demand will continue to push our market and drive up prices, although perhaps at a slower pace than what we've seen in the past. Again, difficult to maintain that double-digit appreciation. On the other hand, if the cause is buyer resistance to paying sellers high prices, that may mean that sellers need to ease off their insistence on getting the next new high price when they sell their home.
Only time will tell.
That's right.
So we'll keep a close eye on this and report to you any monthly changes we see in the webinar. But it'll be interesting to see how the second half of the year shapes up. It's hard to say, but I think the market's stabilizing, and sellers are trying to push prices, and buyers are. I think it's a little bit of both. Buyers are resisting it a little bit, but it's hard when there's a small inventory of homes because the next buyer wants to get that home. So it's an interesting time in the market, but feels very stable here.
Yes, it does, and we're reporting really good figures, and we have been month in and month out. We do want to mention to you, and we highlighted this last month, that we've been working on our website rather, made lots of improvements. I'm not going to spend a lot of time showing you what they are, but I do want to highlight them a little bit. Here's our home page, very different look than what we've had. And what we've done is we've brought the ease of searching to the very middle of the home page. Just plug in your location here. It could be a subdivision, put in a price, hit search, and it pops up as fast as you could ever hope for it. And then as I scroll down a little bit, we're highlighting our listings that we're marketing in this scrolling pattern of properties here. Plus our left choices, we're kind of toggling through a number of different webinars to give you choices on that home screen. So you'll always have the current Market Talk webinar on here. Since we're dealing with taxes, there's one there to choose from. But do check it out. And then if you scroll down a little bit lower, this might apply more for you sellers. You can learn what your property is worth, and in less than a minute you can fill out some of the blanks at the end of this. Hit submit form, and that will come to us, and we'll immediately contact you to let you know what your property is worth. And you don't need to be planning to buy right now, or sell rather, but if you just want to know what it is, that's how we can get you that information. So check out our website. We're very happy with it, and keep in mind this is one of 3 websites that we have in order to attract buyers to our listed properties. We have viewparkcityhomes.com, we have viewparkcityrealestate.com, and BuyParkCityNow.com, and you can watch them on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer, however you like to surf the internet.
All right, so if you have any questions, feel free to email us, and we'll promptly answer them. Ron or Jeremy at the Wilson team, and then also Ed and Dean at the Wilson team if you have questions for them.
All right. So our next Market Talk webinar, where we'll do an update, will be September 9th by 7 p.m. That should be posted on our website, and you can always go back and look at past webinars by going to the webinar archive. So thank you for joining us. We hope that you'll enjoy Park City during the remaining summer months, and then start tuning those skis.
It's not that close.
I like to look into the future. I didn't get much skiing done last year. All right. Have a good day. Bye-bye.